Okay, so it's that time again. Obviously, it's the Gacha Revenue Chart. Now, obviously, a lot of people have been very excited for this as, things have been shaking up a little bit in the Gacha space recently. And, well, obviously, we're going to be starting from around the 25 mark as, a lot of these other games, usually they're not worth talking about. Obviously, there are some that I enjoy, for example, like Azure Lane, which has dropped down quite significantly in money. Obviously, Wizardry is doing pretty good. Reverse 1999 has dropped down quite a bit, which is very surprising to me. And there's some other games down here as well, including also the very, very bottom. I mean, this list is growing even bigger. Tribe 9, which has made 2,000 somehow, even though it's pretty much shut down. I don't know how people are still spending money on that. But yeah, essentially we're starting from 25. Obviously, One Piece Bounty Rush again. Obviously, a game that has been, I haven't really heard of it, but obviously it's probably one of those ones that are big over in Japan. You can see the split here in terms of it. Yeah, you can see Global only made about 1 million. Whereas, yeah, JP made about 4 million for the game. So very big over in Japan. We've got Infinity Nikki, which obviously has been doing pretty good ever since a lot of the drama that's been going on. It's actually doubled their revenue to 6 million, which again, looks pretty good. We also got a new game, which is Silver and Blood. Obviously, it's been out for, like a month now or so. So obviously, they made 2 million last month. But obviously, with a lot of the advertising they've been doing recently, they've actually managed to make 7.8 million. I mean, the game was pretty good. I mean, I played it for about a couple of hours, and the overall quality of the designs and everything was actually really nice. I actually really enjoyed it. So again, good game. I'm glad it's doing good. Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage, again, a classic game. Doing great as well as always. Blue Archive also has a big boost too. This might also be due to a lot of the attention it's been getting on Steam and stuff. So again, that's great for them, doubling their revenue. Persona 5 Phantom X also doubling their revenue too. I'm pretty sure this was the debut of the a global version, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, as you can see, global, they made about 1.8 million, which again, great to see. Gakuen Idolmaster JP obviously made 9 million. Battle Cats 10 million. Seven Knights Rebirth 12 million, obviously dropped from 36 million. Never heard of it. It's a Korean game, it looks like. And then we've got Arc Knights at 13 million. And then the first big one is Wuthering Waves has actually dropped down by quite a bit, down to 16 million. Now, obviously, they were at $40 million before this. And also, just to preface, a lot of this is estimates. These aren't like, be all and end all of things, in terms of revenue. But yeah, Wuthering Waves has actually dropped down by over half, which is very surprising to me, as, they've had some pretty good patches. But I think it's kind of to be expected with a lot of the slow stuff, for example, like Frolova being the only one on this banner. But again, I mean, it does kind of go into a little bit last month. I don't really know. I mean, again, I don't think Frolova was as wanted as some of the previous characters that we had on some of the previous banners. So again, I think that is also a big factor. I also think maybe we had a double header banner on that month last month. So again, obviously, that probably would have provided a bit of extra money for the game. But honestly, 16 million isn't bad. It's still up there in the high ends of what Wuthering Waves has been making, especially if we compare it to, obviously, whenever it first started out, it dropped down to like 8 million or something at one point. So again, we're still well above that. And again, I'm very excited to see, what's going to happen with some of the new characters coming out in the future as well with Ayuno and, what's her name? I forgot what her name is. Oh my God, Augusta. That's it, who is coming out as well. We got obviously Dragon Ball Legends at 17.6 million. Again, 14th place, great. Monster Strike at 18 million, again, great. Again, don't really know much about those games. And then we've also got Zealous Zone Zero, which has also dropped off a bit of money as well. Obviously, they were narrowly close to Wuthering Waves in the last month, and now they've also dropped off quite significantly, but not as much as wuwa has, which again is great to see. Obviously, they got 21.9 million. Again, I don't really follow Zealous Zone Zero that closely, so I couldn't really tell you exactly what kind of caused that in terms of banners. But again, obviously, I think they had the whole not rerun, but I guess whenever they tried to restart the game, I guess in terms of Zealous, they were trying to rework a lot of things. So that could have been the initial amount that we saw. That's why it went up so high. I've just got Naruto Mobile doing great as always. Don't know how that game does good. Obviously, the animations are great, so I'm probably sure that's probably partially why it's very big over in China. We've got Shadowverse Worlds Beyond, a fairly new game as well. Obviously, Shadowverse has been a series that's been around for a while, but this one particular game has been out for a couple of months now and seems to be holding on to their revenue, obviously making 2 million more. We also got a Gundam game, which obviously gone up by 1 million, again, looking great. We also got Fate Grand Order, maintaining their revenue pretty much, maybe just like by a 1 million difference. We've also got Nikkei as well. Very expected to see them up in 7th place, obviously doing absolutely amazingly. I mean, that's surprising, up in 7th. But yeah, no, they've had their summer event on at the moment with some crazy skins and stuff which have been going on over there. So it's not a surprise that they've had a big boost in revenue as well. We've also got Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, which has managed to make 30 million. I don't know how that is. Maybe they had another launch. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how they've managed to do that, but again, they did somehow. So again, up in 6th place, they managed to climb up to 33 places, which is pretty insane. We've also got Pokemon TCG losing 20 million. I think there was an event on which is no longer going on in that last month. So again, I think that's why it fell. And then obviously the game that has been taking over, Uma Musume, making a boatload of money whenever it comes to gacha games. Again, very great to see. Obviously, it's been a massive hit in the community. I'm surprised it's not even, not even higher, but again, it made 12 million last month due to the fact of it being mainly in JP. But now it's released over in global. It seems like a lot of people have been playing it too. Again, they've done absolutely amazingly in global, 10 million and 11 million in global. So again, 21 million in global alone, plus a lot of the JP sales, which is already massive in JP. I mean, they've outperformed JP there, which is crazy to think about. So again, very, very good. Seems like Uma Musume is doing great as well. We also got Genshin Impact as well. You're doing great. Obviously, they've lost a little bit of money since the Skirk banner, I think it was. So obviously, it's kind of to be expected that went down. But also they had the Mavwika banner, which was up for a little bit. She's a very strong character. So it makes sense that they've maintained 38 million as well. Again, not as great for them, but obviously still keeps them at 3rd place, which is great. And obviously as well, we got the final two, which, I'll just spoil for you. It's Love and Deep Space, obviously, as 64 million. Again, they've gone up a little bit. Again, still holding their space. And then finally, we got Honkai Star Rail at $91.4 million, which is pretty insane. This is one of the highest ones we've seen in a while, Honkai Star Rail did this again a couple of months ago, whenever they got into similar kind of ballpark range of revenue. And again, they've done very good then. 91.4 million is pretty insane. And obviously, that's off the back of a 19 million patch, where the patch was pretty boring, I think. I think that was the Cypher patch, so people weren't as excited for that one. But obviously, we've had, Finon, who's been a massive character. Really, really good in terms of, obviously meta and things like that, but also really good in terms of story. People have been really, really enjoying him. And obviously, he has that connection to Honkai Impact 3rd as well. So it makes sense that his banner would sell. But also, on top of that, we also had the Fate collab too, where people could also pull on Saber and Archer at the same time. So again, that is 3 new characters at once. And obviously, I think it's like kind of obvious that they're going to make that much money. Let's be real, 91 million makes sense for, some very, very anticipated characters, because not only is Finon anticipated, Saber and Archer are also very, very significantly anticipated as well. So again, obviously people are going to be breaking the bank for all of those characters. And yeah, as you can see, they've been performing most well over on global, I'd say, with 50 million of that revenue coming from global, from Android and iOS. And then also, CN have been providing a little bit as well, obviously around about 40 million, I think that is. So again, great for them too. It seems like global is just edging it out though, in terms of the Honkai Star support. So yeah, I mean, that is the entirety of the Gacha Revenue Chart. I mean, a little bit disappointing for Wuthering Waves as someone who covers Wuthering Waves quite a bit, but at the same time, again, I think with the new patches coming out with Augusta and I think honestly it could be a really, really good opportunity to get back up there in the charts. But again, also great for Honkai Star that they've managed to make a lot of money. Obviously that is due to a lot of the stuff that's going on with banners. Again, a lot of people will argue the higher game usually means it's a little bit more predatory in terms of a lot of things. I mean, releasing 3 banners at once is pretty crazy, and obviously you kind of do have to spend at that point if someone wanted all of those characters. So again, the same goes for Love and Deep Space as well. I'm pretty sure they don't have the best gacha systems, but again, at the same time, those companies have managed to make those money, and at the end of the day, all of these companies are laughing at us because they're all making money. It's not just like some, obviously people like to defend, Kuro, people like to defend Hoyo, they like to, go after whoever and whoever based on this kind of information. But let's be real, all of them are making money. I bet all of the CEOs of all of these companies all sat on a yacht right now, drinking a nice glass of wine, laughing about how we're arguing over, some stupid game revenue. But again, I think it is great to have this little bit of an estimate to look at how all of these games are doing. But in terms of all your favorite games, I mean, it's no surprise, it happens every single month. they're all doing fine. Your game's not EOSing, don't worry, it's fine. Unless you're one of the ones right at the bottom down here, then maybe your game might be EOSing soon. Hey, if you play like Tower Fantasy, I mean, you know, 33,000 ain't great, you know, but again, we'll have to wait and see what kind of happens with those ones. But yeah, that's all I got for this video. If you guys enjoy it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, go to Game Subs, use my code CASA, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.